Queen Elizabeth II dies aged 96. Buckingham Palace announces Charles becomes the new king. The Queen's body is expected to lie in state ahead of her funeral at Westminster Abbey. She had reigned since 1952. Buckingham Palace released a statement just after 6:30 p.m. on Thursday local time, confirming the Queen had died at her Balmoral estate in the Scottish Highlands. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. Charles, who will be known as King Charles III, issued a statement saying the death of his beloved mother was a moment of great sadness for me and all the members of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother, he said. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms and the Commonwealth, and by the countless people around the world. During this period of mourning and change, my family and I will be comforted and sustained by our knowledge of the respect and deep affection in which the Queen was so widely held. Britain's Prime Minister Liz Truss, who the Queen appointed on Tuesday, said the former monarch was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign, Miss Truss said. The Queen's body is expected to be taken from Balmoral to Edinburgh on Friday morning, local time. Ceremonies will be carried out in the Scottish capital before the Queen's remains begin the journey south to London. Her body is then expected to be taken to Buckingham Palace's throne room before lying in state for 4 days in Westminster Hall. The UK is expected to declare a period of national mourning ahead of the Queen's funeral, which protocol says will be held at Westminster Abbey in London. The Queen's son Charles is now the King. Prince William is next in line. The Accession Council is expected to gather in the coming hours to proclaim Charles as the new sovereign. That proclamation will be read out from a balcony at St James Palace, as well as key locations across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. King Charles will attend the accession ceremonies in Scotland and Wales before returning to London to pay his final respects to his mother. The official website for the royal family, www.royal.uk, has been updated to pay homage to the Queen's life and reign and acknowledge Charles' accession to the throne as king. Prior to the update, the website was black and featured a picture of the Queen with the statement from the Buckingham Palace confirming her death. A statement below it read, "The official website for the royal family is temporarily unavailable while appropriate changes are made." The website includes details of the Queen's early life as well as her hobbies and interests. The updates include biographies of newly crowned King Charles III and Camilla, who is now the Queen Consort. Other updates include reflections on the Queen's early life, her hobbies and interests, family life, and her role as the head of the Church of England. Crowds have gathered outside Buckingham Palace to lay flowers and pay their respects to the late monarch. Just after 6:30 p.m. local time, 2 members of the royal household came to the palace gates to post a notice announcing her death, and the flag that sits above it was lowered to half-mast. Shortly after the announcement, mourners outside the palace broke out in a rendition of God Save the Queen, Britain's national anthem. Standing outside the palace gates when the news was announced, Liberty Corrie from Suffolk said she broke down as soon as she heard the news. "Me and my brother looked at each other. He was crying, I was crying. We were just in shock," she told the ABC. A line of London's iconic black cabs lined the mall outside Buckingham Palace, forming a guard of honour for the former Queen, just as they had done after the death of Prince Philip. Mark Colling, 53 from Dover, had just finished watching a show in the West End when he heard the news. Walking along the mall towards the palace to pay respects, Mr. Colling said he was gutted. Health issues marked the Queen's final years. The Queen reigned for more than 70 years, coming to the throne on the death of her father, George VI, in 1952. She suffered a series of health issues in the years before her death. In 2022, she was forced to miss the Platinum Jubilee event in June because of what Buckingham Palace said were mobility issues. Increasingly, she was forced to hand over public duties to younger members of the family, including Charles and his son Prince William, who is now next in line for the throne. She also grieved for her husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, who died at the age of 99 in April of 2021. The couple spent much of his final year in isolation together at Windsor Castle. Queen Elizabeth II is expected to be buried at King George VI Memorial Chapel in St George's Chapel in Windsor. This video was created with Pictory.ai. You can turn articles into videos in minutes. To get started for free, visit pictorytool.com.